Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks for Tuesday, May the 24th. And I want to start with the S&P here. So I think that we're pretty close to having lows in for stock, and that means that the indices would also be very close to having lows in as well. So there's a couple of scenarios that I'm just looking at, and I'll just start with the S&P today. So we can look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and down to 5 and have a low in place, or we can simply put wave 4 over here and have a larger move up coming close to the previous top here, and then having a wave 5 down at that point. So they're my two scenarios. I'm also aware that there is a bigger bearish picture on the scene as well from Robert Prechter, who always does a fantastic job. However, he has picked highs before and tops, and they haven't always panned out. Just as I say that, he'll probably get it right this time, but he's a fantastic Elliottician. Now, in his count, he's got this as wave 5 up here, and then he's looking down as wave 1 and 2, and he's got a slightly different configuration here, but he's looking for a much deeper bear market. And we can take a look at that in due course. Now, a lot of the stocks that I've been sort of looking at were reasonably close to lows, but I'm just going to sort of tighten them up a little bit at this stage, okay? So I won't be calling any trades in today or tomorrow or whatever. I need to, I really need to, I need to really pick up the golden thread that's running through this story. So yeah, but today's really just about letting you know that we can have a low in, or we've got this as some A, B, and C correction here, because in some cases this move down here in stocks that I noticed can count in 5 waves coming down here. So on this market, it can count in 3 waves here. I could probably force it into 5, but I don't like doing that. But at the end of the day, I kind of need to take a consensus on what most of the stocks are doing, and then apply that to the indice and make the indice fit that way. That's the only way that I will force something. So we need to resolve this particular low here. I can see that some stocks do need to make another low, and some stocks don't necessarily need to. So anyway, over this week, we'll just be trying to sort out what we've actually got here, and will we be, because sometimes stocks don't all bottom together. They're very close, but they can have kind of awkward patterns with each other as well. So first of all, we need to decide if we've got a low in place. Now, obviously, everybody's got opinions, and I respect those. And for myself, though, I just need to say I either know or I don't know, and then I need to build a case on what we've got at that particular point in time. So anyway, that's the S&P. So when we come to Apple here, Apple's a tricky little sucker because of this particular spike in here, and spikes can, you kind of sometimes, sometimes they're, obviously they've happened, they're real, and so on. They're normally just sort of news events, and I tend not to take a lot of, I don't put a lot of sort of meaning on spikes too much, but sometimes, they're valid and we need to use them. So with the Apple here, we've got a couple of things to do here. We can either put wave 5 in here, and we can be done and dusted at this point, all right? And that would be the low in for Apple. And in the markets, in a lot of markets, because the indices have had 5 waves up, and it really became apparent with the DAX when it first occurred coming up this way, so it's left the count a little bit sort of open. In a lot of cases, we can put wave 4, and in a lot of cases with new tech stocks, we can put a wave 2 here, like we can put a wave 2 here with the banks, so to speak. So I also need to sort that out as well. So with Apple here, we've got pretty much two cases. We've either got this low in at this point, or we've got another low to come in this point, and this would be wave 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, 5 to finish that off in this regard. So we'll have a look at both of those. So 2k tick and 1k tick. So here we can have, this is a little bit of a different count here, but it fits and it's sort of okay, and you know, it looks like we're getting an impulse wave to the upside here, so that's sort of okay. You know, to call this low in here, I would want to see a larger impulse wave. So I would either want to see support on the 150 because that's the closest largest number, and we would need to see, you know, would need to see some sort of, to call in the bigger picture, let's get real, we need to see something, you know, that we can really call in here, and then use this level to look to go long on at that point there. Now, will this occur? I really don't know, but if it does, then this is where we need to go long, or if we get 5 waves here, we can buy the pullback at this point here too. So when you think about it, from here to here, the 50-60% retracement level, you know, will be, you know, so it's basically like buying it here, but we buy it over here instead once we've got more evidence here. Because the other point here is that if we look at the 1k tick here, I configure this a little bit differently here, and would be looking for wave 3, 4 and 5 to come down to finish this off here for this. So let's just see, you know, what we've got at, you know, at this point with all of this. So they're the kind of 2 things that I'm looking at across the market in a bit of a nutshell. But let's just continue on, and with Amazon here, in this case it's a little bit sort of simpler to see. We can see that we've got 1 here and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave and the 4th wave. So we still need to edge down a little bit lower into the 2000 here, and because we're at such a big number here, the movements down here are not going to be, you know, excessive to the downside, even though that Amazon has, you know, didn't have a very good reporting, which is a sign of, you know, the whole US, or probably, I don't know, I mean, not so much in Australia, we're a mining town over here in one sense. Yeah, I mean, the stimulus that came into the US from the COVID, you know, that pushed consumer spending up, and the whole shabambles is sort of based on that consumer spending. And you know, they're not dishing out money anymore, are they? They're sort of almost in the negative of dishing it out and trying to cope with inflation and tightening other things up. So that consumer spending has gone down, and Walmart and Amazon are a part of that. It's not my expertise, I just do patterns, but it's nice to sort of make things sort of fit a little bit. So anyway, we'll just keep an eye on this. We'll go in and have a closer look at it, of course. So in this instance here, we're looking at wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then, you know, coming down for wave 5. So we've got an impulse wave here, so we can look at it like that, and we could look at it as an A and a B and a C, or we could look at it as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a bit dodgy with the sharp here, but as 1 and 2 here, and then dropping down at this point. So yeah, we'll probably see it come down, but I was looking at it, and there's a good case here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1 here, an A wave here, a B wave here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave here, and then just continue up at that point. So yeah, I mean, we could also, I mean, just by the by, and I don't like confusing things, but I also need to point out too that this wave 4 may get a bit more complicated, and we may end up with a wave B down here and a wave C up here. Do you know? We could end up with something like that. So there's a few things that we need to be, you know, I need to get my sort of head around, and that's why I said that I've got to find that, you know, the golden thread that runs through the book, so to speak. I need to be able to, I've got to find that, because I was going okay with everything, as you may know, but then the S&P had a weird sort of bottom there, and that could be, you know, I know it could be interpreted in different ways. So then I have to go back to the stock market and look at the stocks to find out, you know, what possibly, you know, what could we be looking at that point. So there's a couple of things going on here, but in the bigger picture, it's sort of 3, 4 here, and we're going down for wave 5, which won't be that long. Or wave 4 could get a bit more complicated, and we could have wave 4 sitting over here for that. So probably not, because yeah, in fact, I'm going to remove that. I don't think that's the case, because I need other stocks to come down as well, so it won't be that time. The timing won't be there. So that's Amazon. Nvidia here, once again, we could look at this. I've just done it simple in the bigger picture here from the top as the A wave, nice B wave here, and then we're looking for the C wave to come down here. So we can look at 1 and 2, nice third wave here, fourth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see that it's, you know, extended here, like sort of the personality of the structure and the emotional state of the structure is, you know, it moved quite quickly here, but then it's sort of shortening up and firming up, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't have a long way to go down at this point. And the other point here, we're at 150, and over here is really good support. This consolidation over here will support that. So I've just put one level in here for this at this point here. Now this wave 4 may get a bit more complicated as well. We could put it over here for this and look at wave 5 to go down and a few things. So need to get our heads around that there as well. I don't know what I've got on the 100. I've probably still got the old thing there, but let's just go in. Oh no, I've done a bit of work. So yeah, with this here, we've got this here as an A and a B and a C for wave 4, then 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 down for 1. So an ABC back for 2 here, and then we'll go down for 3, 4, 5. So we're not far off the low here, you know. That's what we've got to sort of get our heads around a bit, you know. Okay, so moving on to Berkshire Hathaway. So I've sort of rejig this particular structure as well. In this case here, I've got this as an A wave, a B wave, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave to wave C. In this case, we may even have a low in place here. We've either got a low in place, or we'll rally in 3 waves here and then come down again at that point. So I'm in no rush to do anything here, and the reason we've got this particular stock here is because it's one of the low volatility stocks in the S&P that really sort of dominate that space, you know. So yeah, that's that. Now Google's got a little funny sort of thing here. We're on 100 ticks. Let's just go to 1 day here for a moment. So, you know, we're tracking this up here as wave 1 here, and then we're looking, you know, for a move lower at that point. But we end up getting this spike here, and it sort of haunted me a little bit because it has made a new high, but wave Bs can do that. But I could just easily put wave 1 over here and then start to look at this as an A and a B and a C down here. But once again, I think that I think we can come down further, but I think that we're sort of almost there as well in this case. But I know that I could reorganize this structure here for this. So yeah, anyway, we'll go to 100 ticks and so it hasn't finished off sort of very well here either, because we've got 5 waves here. I could bring this down to over here, but it just doesn't work that well, unfortunately. So it's sort of like an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for this. I could probably even bring wave 4 all the way down here and bring in a low at this point, you know. So there's a few things here as well, but I just want to observe it for a little while. If we're looking for 5 waves from here down to here, I mean, how do you count that? I mean, we could look at this as 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a third wave and a fourth wave. And if I put wave 1 here, which is likely, because it's hard to get wave 3, 4 and 5 out of that. So it's okay, even though it's overlapping the low of wave B there in that sense, but it's not looking very corrective, I must say, you know. So anyway, we won't do much at this point with this, but looking for a low. We need to validate all of that though. And when we come to Meta Facebook here, we're looking at it with wave 3, 4, and then 1 and 2, and 3, 4, 5 moving down further. But if you remember, we also had a bullish count going back some time here. So this bullish count here, that may play out as well in this instance. This may be the wave 1 with an A and a B and a C wave coming down here for wave 2, pulling back, because that would be 5 waves in here, and then a B wave in here and a C wave. So a move a little bit lower. So anyway, we'll just keep an eye on this as well. I'm cleaning out all short trades at the moment, but so this bullish count here with the A, the B, and the C wave that we've had can certainly, come into play. But anyway, we'll just keep a bit of an eye on both of them. So we've got this one, and we've got and we've got this one. Obviously, this one, I mean, it looks bearish, doesn't it? But anyway, we'll just keep an eye on it. This move up here, it's a bit tricky to count really, because it kind of just gapped up to that point in a way. So it's a bit hard to view that. But I'll just keep an open mind. I mean, I certainly wouldn't go, with the trading levels. This is at resistance, isn't it? So I'd rather be on the short side, but I can also see that the stochastics here are also sort of gearing up as well here. So the bullish count could be right, with an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming down here, and then a move up from that point. So once again, we just need to be a little bit careful and gather some more information on all of this. I'll go to the 100 ticks, I think that we're on. Okay, well that really got weird, didn't it, there? But that sort of, I didn't see that drop when I was doing this, but let's just bring in a bit more data. Not that it makes any difference, because... So we're looking up here as the top here as either wave 1 or wave 4 up there, and we've got 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave here. And then I've had this as 1 here, and then an A and a B and a C, or 1 and 2 at this point, but it's certainly come down a bit low on that note. So it's probably this I've got here really is the A, the B, and the C wave down here. So that will bring us down into 180 here. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes at that point. But that's where we are at the moment. Would only go long above this top here. That would make it bullish at that point. That's why I've got that green line there. But I've still got the count coming down here. But that certainly came down in a nice third wave, I have to say. But anyway, yeah, nothing more to do here at the moment. And Tesla, we're going to clean out this short trade here. But let's just go back to the daily chart. Excuse me. So, this is one of the reasons that I don't agree with Robert Prechter, basically, in the having a bigger top in the market, because this move down, this first move here, doesn't count as 5 waves. That's one of the reasons I think that we're in a correction here with stocks. So, but an A and a B and a C at this point for the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave for the A wave. A nice ABC here, and then we're counting this down here. So in a way, we're kind of, our target was the 650, but we could see it going down further to the 500, but I'm going to tighten that up a little bit. So we're going to have a look at 2 counts here. One's on the 2K. And the trend line here is kind of important because it comes in, things move in the night, so I'll have to straighten that up. Or does that come from the other side? Sorry, let me just, yeah, that's better. So that comes in from that point. Let's copy that, put that there and remove that one. Just give that a bit of definition so we can see it. But I mean, trend lines are handy, as you know, as long as they work, but at some point they don't. But I kind of like them for support and resistance, you know what I mean? Like if that became the resistance here, then I'd know that we were going to go down further. So they're kind of like trading levels, but just on an angle, you know. So yeah, anyway, getting back to the thing here, we've got wave A here, wave B here, then 1 and 2. And I can't call that wave 3, 4 and 5 because it takes us too far at that point. So it's definitely 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And this is where I was tightening it up in this case here. So bringing it into to a wave 2. So we got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not a problem. We can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We could probably look, if it fails from here, then we could bring it down further and we could extend this down. But I just wanted to, and we're sitting on 650 and the trend line here. So that, I mean, the 650 probably doesn't mean much to you, but we've got some consolidation over here. So it does play a reasonable part in this. We'll just see how it goes here for a moment. But in this case, it's kind of telling me that we've got further to go down at this point. So we can either go down from here, and then I would need to bring this fifth wave into this point here, and bring that down further, because that could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, you know, coming down further for this one and then have that one and then down. So we've still got further to go down with this particular stock, but we're not far off, you know. And we have to be careful because things don't always finish off the way that you would expect them to. Yeah, this is the same here as well. So I won't go any more intraday here. I've got to confirm that this wave 5 is in play here and that we're in wave 4. Let me just check on this. So that pulled back to the 38.2%. So that means that this one, if that's the fingerprint of the market, let me just double check this. That was 50% for the wave 2, so good enough. Yeah, we'll just see. We'll just give this a bit more development. I just want to see if it pushes up here further or it just drops from here, and we need to look at this as being, you know, finishing off here for this wave 5 to come into play here. So we're not finished. It's pretty clear that we're not finished with this particular stock yet. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Square. So we've had Square with wave 3 here and wave 4 up here. But I'm also looking for the banks to tighten the banks up, for looking for lows in the bank. But as far as this goes, we can look at this as wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C wave back into the box, and then dropping from that point into 3, 4 and 5 to finish off at this point. If the market goes above this point here, then we'll need to call the low in at that point. But otherwise, we'll just allow this to do its thing at this point. I think we're okay with this coming down at this stage. And the finance sector. So the finance sector here, the XLF, I can look at it. You could, to be honest, you could configure this top here in different ways. I understand that, but that doesn't really concern me at this point in time. I don't think this is wave 1 and 2 here, because wave 2 is quite big and time consuming, where wave 2s are short and swift, you know. So I think that it'll be something of this nature. I've got it here as an A wave here. You could probably put this A wave here as well. So it doesn't really matter. I think what's important is this move here. Now I can count 5 waves in this move here, and even though that this has popped its top above this one here, I'm a bit reluctant to put this over here, and the reason for that is that this move in through here counts really nicely as 5 waves in here. So I've already got 5 waves in here. It's possible that this has got wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming into here for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave, and then 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd, 4th and 5th, and to have a low in here for the banks. So it's just a possibility. We'll just keep an eye on it. See, in the S&P 500 and that, you know, we could count 5 waves to this point here, but in the banks here, I can count this down as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. It fits quite nicely in this instance. So I'm thinking, you know, well, can the S&P be counted like that? Can we do that with the S&P? And you have to say that, look, we've got a gap in here. It counts quite nicely as an impulse wave. I mean, we could put wave 4 over here for this and have another low come in place. So I'm aware of that. So this is why we need to sort of gather more information. But yeah, so today was really just talking about being close to having lows in place for stocks, or some of them actually having lows in place. I think I missed Microsoft, and I think I missed it yesterday. I wonder why that is. Because it's been deleted from my list. That's a bit weird. I'll do that. I'll do Microsoft at the end. That's just a bit, because it wasn't on my list. I normally set the charts up based on my list. So I want to have a look at, I'm just going to move that to one side, and I'm going to have a look at, so with BAC here, we can do the same thing as well. I can look at this being the A wave, the B wave, and then 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 5th wave and the 4th wave. Okay, apologies about the phone. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I know I'm jamming it up a little bit in here. I understand that. I also understand that this wave 4 can go over here for BAC, and that we can have another little move down. But like I said, things don't always finish off the way that we would like them to do. So yeah, let's just have a look at Morgan's as well here. Morgan's is a little bit tidier. So we can look at the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave, and the 5th wave. Now it's also a little bit short as well, so it's possible that this 4th wave can sit here, and then we have the 5th wave down here. So I'm not saying which is right or wrong. I mean, we're in the zone here where it should be at this point in time. So yeah, so let's just see. So look, just to finish off with all of this is that it's possible for some markets to have lows in, but if not, then we'll be looking at one more move down to finish off a lot of these stocks. Now, the question also is there a bigger bear market happening? Well, I think that what we can do is just take things step by step. So with these markets, let's just kind of confirm if we do have one more move down, because then we just need to go as 5 waves down, so to speak. And anything below that, then we can start opening things up further at that stage as step by step. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, but I do want to have a look at Microsoft, so I'm just going to put it on pause and go and have a look. Okay, so let's just we're looking at a top here with much the same pattern as across the markets. You know, we can look at them and configure them in different ways, but basically most of them are pretty much the same, you know, or you have groups of things, you know, there's anyway, it doesn't really matter, but it's all about this leg here. So in this instance here, we're looking at an A wave, a B wave, and then 5 waves down here. So we can have the low in, or we can have another low in coming in over here. It's the same sort of story, but let's just go in and have a quick look at that. So on the two tick chart, picking it up from wave B here, we're looking for 5 waves, so we can look at 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and I don't see why we can't put wave 5 here for this. You know, that's doable at that point, and have wave C at that point. So we've either got that, or we've got another move down. Just copy this here, and we don't need those. We can have 3, 4, and 5. So you know, maybe by the end of the week we could be finishing down here for this, you know. It's reasonably in sync with the market. So the thing is, it just doesn't really have a good corrective wave there for that. Let's just go into 100 ticks and check out so 1, 2, 3, 4, and it does look kind of impulsive up here. I don't think that I can count this. It's still the best configuration here. Look, obviously if the market, you know, moves down past here, past that gap, I mean, you know, well, the 250 is resistance, basically sends it down anyway. I mean, it should be coming down, just yeah, so it should come down from that point, but yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, just to recap a little bit, is that stocks have got further to come down, but I'm going to be looking for lows. That's the gist of it at this point. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.